So I'm going to make £40,000 profit from a deal that I never really do anything with.
So on this one, I've made over £3,000 just for connecting the buyer with the deal. Found the property for them, we've got it refurbed for them, and handing it over to the letting agent, so they've had to do basically nothing on this one.
Massive, massive cash flow out of houses that never even go in your name. Hi everyone, I'm Katie Wilson and I'm a deal packager. So we purchase properties all over the country and then we sell them on to investors. And I have created massive cash flow from doing that, which has allowed me to buy my own portfolio, which brings me in passive income every single month. So we are in the wonderful sunny Wales with fantastic Ben Elliott. So welcome Ben. And today, we are going to be looking at some of Ben's deals.
So we're going to have a look around some of the properties that I've sourced for investors, as well as some of our own properties in our own portfolio that we've done in the past year.
So this is the very first property we're going to see. But before we go in and have a look at this property, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.
It was a 2-bed, it's now a 3-bed house. We've done the full refurb back to brick pretty much in here. Converted the upstairs, new kitchen, new bathroom, full decoration throughout.
How long do you think it's going to take you to finish it?
I reckon we got about another 2 weeks on this one.
So you've added value by adding a bedroom, taking it from a 2-bed to a 3-bed, refurbishing it pretty much back to brick with most of the refurb.
Absolutely, yeah, that's one of the biggest things we look for is the 2 to 3-bed conversions.
Okay.
It's a really good way to add value. It adds somewhere between 10 and 20 grand around here, depending on the town. So this is going to be the first property that we've kept in our portfolio. So we're going to keep this and rent it out. It should rent for around $750 a month.
Fantastic.
Giving us a nice little profit.
Ben, explain what deal packaging is in its most simple form, so that people get what it means.
Okay, so it's pretty similar to buying a house for yourself, but if you find a good deal, if you're not in a position to buy it yourself, or you think that it's not going to meet your criteria, then we sort of package it up and sell it on to an investor instead who it's going to be more suitable for.
Massive cash flow from deal packaging, low risk, big chunks of cash, not putting any money in for yourself if you're actually packaging it on and not buying it for yourself. It's a fantastic strategy. Let's have a venture upstairs and see what you've done with these bedrooms.
We've got 2 windows in here, you can see, and this was one big bedroom going all the way across. We've now converted that into a 3-bed, put a dividing wall in here, and we used the window from the other room to make 2 nice bedrooms there and another double bedroom in front.
Just tell us a little bit about your journey. So before you became a deal packager and you're making all this money on your own houses and packaging them for big fees, what were you doing before you got into property?
So before I was a million miles away from anything to do with property. I was a tennis coach before. Decided that my future was somewhere else, and I wanted to do something where I could have some more freedom and time to build and hopefully spend time with my family as it grows.
What was it that was sort of the catalyst that made you get into property?
It's something I'd always thought about doing, and in the family we've had a bit of success with doing up some houses. My mum did it when we were young as kids. Once or twice, and that really helped us financially. Now's the right time, so I got educated and got stuck in. Yeah, the deal packaging business, we've done about sort of 15 deals now, bringing in over 30k in the last year, which is nice from that. Yeah, from there, just scaling the sourcing business, trying to really build that up to a 6-figure business.
So let's talk about the numbers on this one. Yep. So how much did you purchase it for?
So we bought this one, we actually initially agreed a price of $74,000 to buy this, but after the survey, we actually had to renegotiate because we realised we needed a full main roof. We renegotiated that down to $68,000.
Okay, so that's a great purchase price.
Yep.
Now, what is it worth once it's finished, once the refurb's finished?
This one is going to be either 140 or 145,000.
So then there's the refurb to do all of that and the work. So what does that come in at?
So it's going to be about £40,000.
You're basically going to refinance this property once the refurb's done.
Yep.
And then pull out as much as you possibly can.
Yep.
So what are you hoping for to pull out?
It should be 105,000.
How did you fund this deal?
So it was a little bit creative with this one actually. We used a bridge, but a balloon bridge across our residential house as well, which gave us the money to do the refurbishment, cover the legal fees, and purchase the property. So we did it all without actually having to put much of our own money in.
Ben, do you want to explain a little bit about what bridging is and how that works in a simple form?
Yeah, so bridging is a secured loan, a bit like a mortgage, but it's more of a short-term loan.
Yeah.
So you can use it for property investments when you've got a lot of work to do.
Yep.
Generally, if the house is really run down, you can't get a mortgage on it.
Yeah.
So you use a bridge instead to buy that property and then do it up and then put it onto a mortgage at the end.
Yes. We've had a look at this one, which you're keeping for yourself. Shall we go and take a look at one that you've sold on?
Let's do it.
Let's go. So now we are at the next property. just to explain, I have had to put another coat on because it is freezing here in sunny Wales on this beautiful sunny but cold day. So we are here at the second property, Ben. Tell us about this one.
So this was our first property that we bought. It was initially going to be a buy, refurb, refinance as well, but we decided actually we were making a good amount of money off it, we're going to sell it.
Tell us about the numbers on this one.
So this was a repossession property. Again, we got it through an estate agent. I think the advertised price was 95, we bought it for 92, and we spent 24,000 on the refurb, and it sold for 158,000. So all in, after everything comes out, we made about 35,000 pounds on it.
You've taken the money, the profit from this deal,
Yep.
and you've invested it in more property, in your property business and in potentially buying more property to build your portfolio.
Yep.
Why would you do that over maybe just going and splashing out on a holiday or a new car or whatever?
We've got a sort of long-term approach to everything. So we put a good chunk of that into the business that's going to be reinvested in sort of scaling the deal packaging business.
Yep.
And then some of it will go towards a deposit on the next one that we're going to keep. So once we pull the money out of the other property, put that together with the money that we've made from this one and use that to try and scale, and we want to get to a point where we can do 2 or 3 simultaneously.
Rob Moore, the founder of Progressive Property, likes to use the term
buy, hold, die.
I look at every deal as it comes through and think, actually, I could keep that, get all my money out, which is brilliant, but that house is only going to cash flow me 6 grand gross a year. Or I could do something creative with it and make 40 grand without doing anything. And when I say not doing anything, I mean not even doing the refurb, not even buying the house. It never even goes in my name. I don't have to pay stamp duty or legals or council tax, any of that. So there's lots of creative ways that you can make massive, massive cash flow out of houses that never even go in your name. It's called deal packaging. If you want to learn how to do what myself and Ben do with property, and there is a free report which you can download and access today, the link is in the description. Go and do that now. So Ben, we're outside another one of your properties that you have sourced. Tell us a little bit about this one.
We've got this through a local estate agent. We're in a different town now, and this is it's just very dated inside. It was a heavy smoker before, so everything is covered in tar and yellow. It's a bit stinky, a bit smelly, lots of work to do, and it's going to make a really nice return for the investor.
What exactly have you done with this property to make money out of this?
Well, just on this one, I kept it simple. I just found the property for the buyer, negotiated on the price. I helped them through the conveyancing process just to speed everything up, and just make sure everything goes through okay. And I just put them in touch with a builder locally to start the work after.
So Ben, this is another one that you are classing as a finder's fee, which is a term we use in the deal packaging world. Tell us a little bit about other structures that you can do as a deal packager.
So there's 2 main sort of services that I provide. So one is just the finder's fee for finding and negotiating and securing the property for the investor. They then have to source the builders and go through the whole process themselves.
Yep.
Or I do a full end-to-end service where I find it, source it for them, negotiate the price, chase through conveyancing, project manage the refurbishment, including getting all the builders in to do all the trade work and everything like that, and then advise them a suitable letting agent or estate agent if they're selling or renting the property at the end, so a full end-to-end service, so they have very little to do.
So an investor will pay, for example, £2,000-3,000 more for the same property, so you could find this and just charge a finder's fee, or you could add on another couple of grand, 2-3 grand minimum, to take the property from being just a house like this to being a fully refurbished finished product. That's what you're saying, right?
Absolutely, yeah, and it saves them a lot of time. It's, for someone starting out, it's maybe 50 viewings, 100 viewings before they get their first offer accepted. We're doing that whole process for them. Got the boots on the ground, we're doing the viewings, we're negotiating with the estate agents, we're doing all the dirty work, all the difficult work for them, and that's what they're paying us for. Most of our investors are really busy people, and we're saving them loads of time.
So, for example, a deal that I'm doing at the moment is where I've agreed to buy the house for £140,000 from a motivated seller, with a view that I'm then going to sell that property on the open market for £180,000 minimum. And literally all I am doing is controlling a contract and taking £40,000 out of the middle of it. So I'm going to make £40,000 profit from a deal that I never really do anything with. Tell me about the numbers on this one.
Bro, so this one was purchased for £72,000. Again, it's pretty much ripping out everything inside and starting all again from fresh. The refurb's going to be about £30,000 on this one. All
of these houses that we've seen so far are all in reasonably close proximity to each other. How did you come to find your area?
So there's a lot that goes into it, but the sort of key ones are entry price. So is it somewhere we can afford, and is it somewhere our investors are looking to price-wise to be able to afford? what's the demand for rentals in the area? Because most of the people that we're working with and for ourselves, we want to hold the properties and rent them out.
Yep.
So is there demand for that? What are the transportation links like? Is there lots of employment in the area? Is it a growing area as well? So is the value going to go up over time? Is there enough development going on?
We're outside another one for you. Tell us a little bit about this one.
This is another one we're sourcing for one of our investors. It's going to be a BRR project, so he's going to buy it and refurbish it and then rent it out at the end and refinance. It is part of an estate that was being sold, and we have been in and seen it. It's a big buy, refurb, refinance project, so it needs a lot of work doing to it. We're going to go in and completely change this into a beautiful rental house for our investor. Going to be purchased for £76,000. We're going to spend about £34,000 on the refurb, which is a big refurb, new kitchens, moving the bathroom downstairs, rearranging the rooms upstairs, so quite a substantial refurb. We should end up with an end value of about 135, and rental-wise around here, we're looking at around £700 a month.
Tell us how much you're going to make for not doing a lot of work on this one.
So on this one, I've made over £3,000 just for connecting the buyer with the deal.
Fantastic. Okay, so you're not doing an awful lot of work, you've just connected people, you made £3,000 out of that.
Yeah.
Fantastic, well done. So Ben, tell us where we're going next.
We're going to go and see one that's just finished the refurb and it's about to be tenanted. Cool, so this is again, another buy, refurb, refinance for one of our investors, and we've given them a whole end-to-end service. So we found the property for them, we've got it refurbed for them and handed it over to the letting agent, so they've had to do basically nothing on this one. So this will be the first time we've gone in since it's been finished, so let's go and have a look. Hey, looking good. That fresh carpet smell.
That beautiful new house smell, right?
Yeah.
Can't beat it. After you've done a successful refurb.
So the units themselves weren't actually in too bad condition.
Yeah.
And we just replaced the cooker, the hob, the extractor and the hob as well, and just tidied it up a little bit in here.
A lot of people would do a full refurb and just rip out that kitchen and replace it just because they're doing a full refurb.
Yeah.
But that is a waste of money. There's nothing wrong with this kitchen from a rental point of view. This will rent all day long with that kitchen, so why replace it?
Yeah, I think it costs us about 1,000, 1,200 quid to sort the kitchen out.
It's uniform throughout. So this is 3 bedrooms. Was it 3 bedrooms when you took it on?
It was 3 bedrooms already,
Yes.
so we haven't added a bedroom.
So they're well spaced out, aren't they?
Yeah.
Nice, decent sized bedrooms.
So this was purchased for £72,000. We've done a fairly light refurb on it. I spent £21,000 on the refurb. Going to revalue it around 125. The rental around here is going to be around 650.
The education that you've had in property, especially because you've done deal packaging training with us,
Yep.
would you say that that's helped you from being able to avoid mistakes, to be able to refine what you're doing?
Well, absolutely, yeah. I think I've probably avoided, it's hard to say what you've avoided completely, but I've definitely avoided some errors that I would have made 100%. The biggest thing for me was giving me the confidence that I knew I had someone there that I could speak to about the deals, and I had someone to check things over with and talk to about things on a regular basis that gave me the confidence to push forward a little bit quicker than I think I would have otherwise.
So Ben, tell us about the numbers, about what you actually made.
The investor was really clear they wanted end-to-end service, so they wanted to have as little to do with it basically as possible.
Yeah.
So I found the deal and had a finder's fee initially for it, which is £3,500. And then I've also project managed the refurbishment for them, which I charged out at 10% of the refurb, so that was £2,100 on this. So I've made £5,600 on this deal.
Since you've been in property, what have you learned or found out about yourself?
I think I'm capable of a lot more than I think I am, and the fact that I've taken skills that I had before and learnt a whole load of new skills and been able to be successful in something different.
So just reflecting on my journey, what I would say is that when I got into property, I had no money, I had no idea what I was doing, I didn't even know how to buy a house. And now, 6 years in, I've got a multi-million-pound portfolio that brings me in passive income. I've got a national deal packaging business, packaging deals all over the country, which makes me another 6 figures a year, and life is good. Where are you taking the business next? What's your vision? What's your plan?
Well, so the plan for the next year is to try and scale the sourcing business as much as we can and get it up to a solid 6-figure business. What we were looking to do is try and automate it and bring in some more members to the team to try and get it a smooth running business where I can step out a little bit more and have more free time to focus on some other things.
Yep.
And then scaling the property portfolio, bringing another few properties into the portfolio as well.
So we've come to the end of our journey today, and you have seen some of the fantastic deals, properties that Ben has been able to acquire for either himself or for his investors for his deal packaging business. And you've seen how Ben is now making thousands of pounds a month packaging up deals for investors.
I'm really pleased with what I've been able to achieve in the last year. It allowed me to have more freedom and more time to myself. It's allowed me to live life a bit more on my own terms, whilst also making the same and more money than I was making previously in my old job. It's nothing that's crazily difficult to do. You just have to follow that system and make sure you listen and take action on the points that you're being told, and anyone can do it.
So if you want to change your life and you want to set up a deal packaging business where you can set up a business that cash flows you massive chunks of cash and fast with hardly any risk and no money in for you, then you can do that by downloading our free report. The link is in the description. So if you want to watch another video about all things property investing, then you need to click here. But before you go anywhere, be sure to like,
subscribe,
and hit the bell notification.
I've been Ben Elliott. If you're interested in starting a portfolio or growing your portfolio in South Wales, then make sure you get in touch. My details are in the description below.
I've been Katie Wilson. You've been brilliant. I'll see you next time.